So we've got ourselves Stoichkov. Now, honestly, I didn't think we were going to get another top-end striker for a while since R9. And yet, I stand corrected. Now, this is probably one of my favourite icons that have come out during Future Stars. He was it Ultimate Birthday? Which one was he? Or is it Ultimate Birthday, sorry. He was phenomenal. Genuinely phenomenal. Now, he is coming in at 2 million coins. Now, the one thing I did want to check before we go really into this, because I am pretty sure that is almost as expensive as R9. Okay, no, maybe not. To be fair, it's not far off, but I thought R9 was like 2.5 for some reason. He's coming in at 2.4. R9 is obviously 3.07, which is nuts in itself. So here's a 5.5, which is just perfect in itself as well. Left wing, right wing, if you really want. He's another top end. Now, we're in the full swing of team of the season. Whether he's needed now is a question, really. Now, he has got a lot of days to go. He's got 60 days in total, and we are going to get, obviously, Serie A icons next week, so whether we see anybody worth doing, that's kind of irrelevant now, but where do we go to possibly get this guy done? Because we have got so many to choose from, and then you've got to really kind of think, who do you actually want? Because there is a lot, and I reckon you could probably get most of them done. Like, they've got a fair few days on all of them. So if we was looking at kind of what icons specifically, like Zambrotta's a great shout. I don't think you need him. Czech, again, don't think you need him. Rio's a very good card, but personally I would stay away from just because the price was a bit too expensive in my eyes. Matthias is phenomenal. I think he is a great value card. If it wasn't for the fact I've got Putellas and Grace now in there, he would have been a great shout to go in. Lam, I would kind of leave. Raul, I would leave. Abile is not terrible, but again, I'd probably leave now. Stoichkov is always an option. Ribery, I'd leave. Hadji, I'd leave. Ham, I'd leave. Beckham, I would leave now. Essien, no. Ronaldinho, in hindsight, I probably should have just left him and waited for an icon SBC. Same with R9 to some extent, but the chances of getting an R9 as well is just crazy, so I kind of had to get him done. Cantona, I would have definitely left now. He was purely review basis, but he was far too expensive. So I would kind of be looking at like R9 at a minimum, Matthias, and probably Stoichkov. They would be my personal icons. Then you could look at some of the lower ones, like Zambrotta's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. Then you also have got players like Sissoko, Lacazette, Kayonde, Lucio's in there, Big Boy Yaya, another great centre mid as well. Then loads of kind of bog standard ones also. So there is so many different choices you can go with what players. Now with the kind of lower end players, you could get most of them done pretty easily. Like it's the fact that I've been doing R9 that I've kind of just left them. I'm now going to probably try and finish most of them because I like the players that you can't get back from the transfer market. Whereas pretty much I think every icon here can. Maybe a couple can't, like Essien you obviously can't, and Cantona you can't. But when it comes to like Beckham, I can go pack him. Ham I can. Hadji I might not be able to actually, but he's gone in 4 days. Stoichkov I can, Abile I can, Raul I can. So you get the point there. So now if I'm speaking specifically on Stoichkov, what SBC we got? We got a bronze, silver, standard, 84, 86, 3 86s, couple of team of the seasons, 87, 87, 87, two 288s, 389s, 390s, and 92s as well. And then what we got, 391s and 292s. So it is quite expensive. There is a lot lacking in team of the seasons there. We've only got them in the 87s and below. So grinding that out's fine, because the way I plan this out is by, say for instance, I will try and knock out as many high rated ones as possible. R9s, the first two I did was 92s because it needed to be done. Get them out of the way, that's as good as you're going to get. And the good thing is, when it looks like the 86s, because you need 3 of them, 86s are not going in the 92 rated SBC. So that's fine. So what I normally try and do is kind of group them. So for instance, with any 86 SBC, I try and specifically stick it to 85s and 86s. Then obviously if I've done them, I would then go to the 87s. I try and make it 86s and 87s because you need 9 87s, 2 86s. Granted, duplicates will always help that, but I will try and keep them correlated to their league or to their rating if possible. Same with the 88s, it's the same system. I'd then have 9 88s and 2 87s. If I throw in an 89 there, fantastic. I just drop one of the 88s out. Same with the 89s. And then when you get to the 90, 91, 92, it's very much what you've got in the club. So any kind of team of the seasons that are decent, like you've got a few 93s, like for instance, I could go with a Kobel if he weren't red, 94 rated, instantly perfect. Athenia isn't that expensive, neither is Patry. They're 94s that could go in, lowering it even more, because you're not really going to get 10 or 9 92s and 2 91s in an ideal world, obviously, especially because most of these high rated 90 and above are going to be team of the seasons anyway. So I would kind of get my kind of roll down with that. That's going to be like the number one thing, and I will always try and go from top to bottom at the very minimum, if you can. Now, like I said, with the 86s, they're not going to encroach on any of these SBCs, like even the 89s. I would try and stick away from them so you can flex between the both. So say if you've obviously got the 86s ready and you've also got the 92s ready, they're not going, you can just start both of them. It's not a problem. You don't have to go from one way or the other. It's just the way I like to do it, because then you can always get rid of something. Like if you get an 88 rated SBC, an 88 player, you could go for the highest one you possibly can, and then it just gets easier over time. So in terms of grinding, where do you go? What's the best thing? Because we've got a lot of things thrown at us. We've now got icon picks, hero picks thrown left, right and center that are actually a little bit more expensive than I thought, to be fair. You've got earn 1 of 4. It's 88 or higher. I still don't think that is worth... I know everything's cheap. Like an 88 is not going to be that expensive anymore, but that... it just seems it. Especially, I know it's only 2 SBCs, but an 88 and an 87 for complete icons. Now, rated 88 or higher is still rubbish, because most of the rubbish ones are like 89 to 90 nowadays. So, kind of grinding into this, you want to be looking at all of your upgrades first, all of your SBCs, because if you've got no fodder, you're going to need to get some. So, finishing the season is always going to be key, because there is plenty of packs throughout it that is going to be absolute key in this. From the 85 times 20, 88 times 3, there is a lot of XP that you can go for that works really well. Then obviously you've got your daily logins. We've got 2 more days until we get an extra team of the season. Was that, did I say La Liga guaranteed team of the season? Oh, did that always say that? Or was that just changed? I swear it was just a normal guarantee. I could be wrong, to be honest, but that's pretty good. So we get a La Liga one at the minimum. Then obviously doing players like Inaki Williams, realistically, you could put him into an SBC and be absolutely fine. You've obviously got the champs. You can go at Aspilaquator if you don't want him. And this is if you're being cutthroat with it. You've obviously got the daily plays to do, daily completionist, plus then the lovely team of the season crafting. I've still got quite a few of these to do, so I've got to make sure I'm grinding through them. And then obviously any of these, if you've still got them grinded, then obviously you can do them also. So that's kind of the menu side of stuff. You've got champs to do if you've not finished that. Rival rewards on Thursday, because I think the whole point of this is to grind it over time. It's not to absolutely slap him out in a day, because you'll find that you'll use stuff that you just don't want to, because there is not one person here that can grind out 2 million coins worth of an SBC from scratch without either being incredibly lucky or just literally buying packs. Like that is going to be the be all and end all of it. If you're buying promo packs, then you'll get them done pretty quickly. That's always how it's been. But if you're trying to grind out with obvious grinding the menus, maybe you are using a few coins on the packs, then you can get them done relatively quickly, but you're gonna have to take a pace at it. Like 2 million coins worth of fodder from nothing is still very difficult to do. Now in terms of the upgrades, that what I would like to do, I've got the premiums for today. To be honest, I've not really been a fan of them. I'm quite happy just doing my 82 player picks. I like the fact I can get the mixed team of the seasons. It obviously gives me a good spread of rewards as well, and then I don't really get many duplicates. Because if you're doing the premium, there's only going to be so many people that are boards and walkouts that you're going to get constantly. I'd rather kind of mix it up and try and get my club into some sort of stock at this point, especially after R9's destroyed it. We then also have the 86 double, all of the dailies that you want to be doing, tradable team of the week in case you want to get something tradable to be able to obviously sell. That's always going to be a big bonus. We did finish the team of the season crafting. To be fair, the 77 times 5s were awful, but it did give me a lot of rewards. I managed to get a few team of the seasons at the minimum from all of that, so it can't be the worst thing in the world. We should get the... oh no, that's in the week, of course it is. Then obviously we've got all of these. So we've got the 82 times 5 coming back tomorrow now, and then we should have more weekly Team of the Week season stuff as we progress into the week. So I would personally just be doing all of my daily stuff, all of my challenge stuff, and then just be grinding player picks. It is as silly as it sounds, as that is just going to be the best way to get it done. So just as an example, because I am running very, very low on fodder, because we have literally burnt it down to the ground with the 150 upgrades, and then obviously trying to finish R9. So I don't think I have a crazy amount of anything. I have a few more gold commons than I thought I did, but literally in terms of what my club was like, it is absolutely nothing. But that's the standard of going into it. The way that you kind of, like, for instance, in my position right now, the way I would kind of increase it, that's just a beautiful one, is something like that, 89 Allison, and all I'd go and do is just whack him straight back into the exchange to build the club up to start with, because then you can kind of do, if you get an 89, but then you get, say you've done 12 picks, one of them 89, you've got a few 88s, you got maybe an 84, 85, the rest you can keep, and it's just about re-rinsing it back through. Spending the coins if need to. If you're going to spend 19,000 on an 89, grinding out then the 51 players, putting them back into SBCs, daily golds back into SBCs, it's just a constant cycle round. Sometimes you can be very lucky in these. I think during the video, which was... Who's that? I don't know who that is. During the video this morning with obviously the Team of the Season grind, my first 51 player pick to start the grind, Carvajal. So he can go into the SBC, or you can obviously go ahead and put him into another SBC later on. So obviously you do get a few players here. You got another 84. These are going to be great for either Team of the Week, either 86 doubles, but you grind everything back through, and it's just a constant cycle of that. It is as simple as that, as just going from the 51 into the player picks, back round if you've obviously got fodder, or you buy another one if you're trying to keep all the fodder, and it just constantly goes round like that. Then obviously any tradable packs is to sell. So for instance, if you are finishing Stoichkov off, make sure that every single pack that you get from him, from the absolute basic of a mixed player all the way up to the rare players, make sure you're selling everything. And that goes for your marquee matchups, any challenges, anything you get tradable, make sure you're selling all of it, because that does add up, and it manages to be able to do it for very, very minimal value. But he is a very good card. I would say he is worth it from when I played with him, depending on who you've got now. That is going to be the biggest thing with the amount of strikers I've seen, from Mbappe to Dembele to a few Haalands to a few Vinnies. There's not going to be too much more room for a lot of icons. So it depends on who you've got. Let me know down below who you've got in your striking slots, 1, 2 or 3, or your wingers. Who is your best up front in FC24 so far?